it's Ash. So this video is going to be a story time because I know when I went to Costa Rica and I did a story time on like all the crazy things that happened, you guys were like, you know, I like seeing this part. Like I like seeing the stuff that didn't work so well out the country and the craziness that happened. And you know some craziness happened when I went to Colombia. So this is going to be a story time of all the crazy stuff and some fun facts about Colombia. And then I'm gonna post the vlogs and you guys will see all the happy times and the stuff that I caught on camera. But yeah, so I went to Colombia this past week. It was me, my flight attendant friend Milan, a girl named Bray, and my two bros, and we all went to Colombia or whatever, right? So I'm just about to tell you, I'm just about to go start from the top of all the shenanigans that happened, and then I'm gonna get into all the fun stuff. For starters, the first shenanigan that happened is we landed in Bogota, and Bogota was cool or whatever, and that next day we had to fly to Cartagena, and you guys will see that in the vlog, but we had to fly to Cartagena, and our flight was like at 7 something. No, our flight was like 9 something. You know, I'm used to getting to the airport at the last minute because I'm a flight attendant and I can just go through the line. But when you're international, you kind of got to get there early because you can't go through a flight attendant line. So anyway, we freaking, long story short, we ended up like getting in our, we stayed out all that night before. So we were tired. We wake up that next day, we wake up late, and the taxi guy's like, yeah, I'll be there in 10 minutes. We're like, 10 minutes? We just got up. We're not even packed up. So we get there. My bro Tyrus, as always, is moving slow. So we finally get in a taxi, right? We get there, we get in a little fender bender accident because they all drive crazy there. Everybody drives crazy. We get in a freaking accident. And then we get to the airport and they're like, yeah, your flight is closed. And we're like, oh my gosh. So like half of our flights are closed. The other half, they were able to make their flight because theirs was a little later. But me and my bros dealing with them, this is my first time missing a flight. So they're like, your flight is closed. And I actually had to pay for this flight because it was an international, but it was Colombian Airlines, and we were going from a Colombia city to city, not the US. So I had to actually pay for this flight. So I was like, what? But I only paid, it was only $40. But we had to freaking buy another flight so we can make it on time and get there early and not late. And so we had to come out $100 for that. And I was like, bro, we just had to pay an extra $100 just because we woke up late or whatever. That's annoying, right? But when we land, we're like, okay, you know, we're gonna just be happy about it or whatever. Tyrus, bro, that was your fault, but you know, we're gonna be happy about it. So that was one shenanigan. We had to freaking come out the pocket for that. So anyway, we get to Cartagena, right? The next shenanigan, we get to Cartagena. My bro Justin loses his passport. He loses his passport, and we're like, oh my gosh. You're like, you know, when you lose your passport, it's pretty, you know, that's pretty crazy. So we get to Cartagena on Tuesday. We don't leave till Thursday. He loses his passport. But I guess, I don't know why, but I guess we thought if you lose your passport, we didn't think that it was gonna be that hard to get it back. So we kind of continued the trip as normal, like having fun or whatever. And let me jump to the end of the trip where he went to the embassy and they were like, you know, you can't get your like Thursday when it was time to leave, he went to the embassy that morning, like 8 a.m. and they were like, no, you got to fly back to Bogota to the capital, Colombia, and you got to do this whole process, and so you're gonna be stuck here for like 2 or 3 more days. They were like, whoa, like dang. So he ended up being stuck there. That was another shenanigan. He forgot his passport. He ended up being stuck there. My other bro Tyrus ended up staying with him. So if you go out the country, never lose your passport because it is hard. It is very hard to get your stuff back, and they are very difficult because it's like you don't have your passport. But also always take a picture of your passport too, just in case anything crazy happens. But don't lose your passport because my bros were stuck and I had to leave because I had work, so I had to leave. But yeah, they're okay now. The biggest shenanigan was, okay, now the biggest shenanigan, and the one that you guys probably clicked the video for, they planted drugs on us. So basically earlier that day we met these Colombians on like this party boat. I think this was like Tuesday or Wednesday of the trip. We met these think it was like Tuesday or Wednesday on the trip. We met these Colombians on the boat, and they just seemed very cool. One even like had my back because somebody tried to harass me, and they were like all up on me, and the Colombians that we were with like slapped the crap out of him. Like, you know how you could feel somebody slap you from the back? Like, we was walking and somebody brushed up on me and he slapped the crap out of them. Like, they had our back the whole night. So they were like, yeah, the local stuff closes at 12 a.m. because of Corona, but we know this other local spot that stays open 24/7. So we like, okay, well, we want to party, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's our first night here, we want to party. And well, at this point, we trust them. So, but it's 5 of us, so we always have to take 2 taxis, right? So I'm in a taxi with the girls, and my bros are in the other taxi. One of the Colombians that we met is with me, and then the other Colombian that we met is with them. So on the way to that club, the freaking federales, that's what we call them when we in Spanish country, but the police, they stopped the taxi with my bros, and basically they're like, where's the weed, where's the cocaine, like searching them. And they're like, bro, we don't have nothing on us, like da-da-da. And they're like searching hard, you know, it's late, it's like after midnight. And every time I swear we go to Spanish country, something always happens. Like in Costa Rica, somebody stole phones and it was a brawl. In DR, they tried to get us locked up because somebody didn't have their mask on for 2 seconds. In Mexico, it was some drug stuff. Like, they always try to freaking get, it's like they always target us. I don't know why. But yeah, so back to the story. They were searching and they were like, bro, there's nothing on us, nothing is on us, right? We get in the club, we're having fun, we're turning up in the club and whatnot, or whatever. The Colombians, they're honestly doing cocaine. In Colombia, they do a lot of cocaine. They're doing cocaine casually in the bathroom, like they're doing cocaine. So we freaking after that, we leave, we get back in our same taxis, right? Man, the same cops pulled them over again and like, where's the weed? They're using the translator because the language barrier is so strong there, you don't know what's going on. So they're using the translator and they're like, you're not leaving Colombia, you're not leaving Colombia, where's the drugs? So they go, and then my bro's like, bro, we don't got nothing on us, nothing is on us. And they come up to them and they search them and they find drugs on them, and they're like, he's like, bro, that's not mine, that's not mine. So basically they planted it on him. We think it was the Colombians, we think they set us up from the beginning because they were the ones doing cocaine and all those drugs and shit, and we were just in the club drinking at the section buying bottles. So they found the drugs on them, and then they were like, oh, y'all going to jail, da-da-da. You don't want to go to Colombia, you don't want to go to the jail out the country or whatever. Meanwhile, our taxi's like gone, like trying to wait for them, like where y'all at, because we never found them or whatever. And we couldn't communicate with each other because it's a language barrier. I couldn't call Justin and them because we had no signal unless we were at the house. So yeah, so long story short, they had to pay them off so they wouldn't go to jail, but it wasn't even their drugs. So be careful when you with these locals, because they can be cool and stuff, but it was a little fishy. And then our taxi ended up dropping us off somewhere that wasn't even our house, and she was like trying to walk us to a place like, oh, your house is this way, and I was like, nah, our house is that way, like, because we had a security guard that always had our back too, and we was like, nah, our house is that way, like. So it was a lot of fishy stuff, like a lot of fishy stuff going on. And then also, like, when you're driving in Colombia, you'll randomly see people just like fighting, like just randomly fighting, like look out the window, they fighting. But yeah, that was crazy. The whole passport thing, the whole we missed our flight, the feds planted drugs on us, trying to get us locked up. It was crazy. But the trip was overall really fun. I love Colombia. I wish we could have seen more because but because of COVID, stuff is closed, like the Pink Sea is closed and stuff like that. But it's not even pink right now because of that season. But you guys will see in the vlog how fun we had. But this was just like all the bad stuff that happened. I had to just come up here and tell the story time, because if you follow my Instagram highlights, you guys seen it and y'all was like, oh, you gotta do a story time. So I was like, let me do a story time. Okay, so before I leave, some more fun facts was, so Bogota, the country that we went to first, and you guys will see in the video, that country was considered more of like the hood and stuff, I guess, like the hood of Colombia. But to me, since I go to so many Spanish countries and this is my first time in South America seemed to have more money than the other countries. Like when I go to Cuba or DR, it's kind of like poverty and stuff, but Colombia was more, it's like they had more money. than the other Spanish countries I went to. However, my bro said that we were in the good part of Bogota, but that's really like, you know, that's really the hood. But Cartagena is like the cool part or whatever, the city, beautiful colors and stuff like that. And it was fun just being out of the country and learning, because like another fact is their hospitality is amazing. Like when we was in our hotel and our security guard and the people who come in clean and stuff like that, they were so sweet to us, like always trying to cook for us, always asking if we're okay, if we need anything. We were using a translator, and the translator worked, but it's like Colombians speak a little different Spanish, so it was like really hard. It was like my hardest like country going to language wise, even more than Japan. Well, except for Paris, because they don't help you at all. They don't even care to talk to you. But yeah, everybody was so happy and understanding, and they didn't get mad if you didn't understand what they were saying. Like, everybody was good. Oh, and those ladies, another fun fact, those ladies that dress up in the colorful outfits, that's like really like their religion and culture, for those girls that are like dressed up like that. And it's like, they're kind of, it's like, I thought they were just dressing up, you know, to take pictures and you get them a tip, because in Colombia, everything you do, you give them a tip. Like when we were in the volcano mud thing, that was really fun, by the way, and they were washing us and bathing us, taking our pictures, we give them a tip. Like you give them like 20,000 pesos, which is like $2 here. Yeah, so I thought when those ladies were dressing up, you know, that's what they were doing it for. But actually, they that's their culture. And actually, when somebody is born, they cry, because it's like they feel like, oh, you're being born into a bad world. And then when somebody dies, they celebrate, like you're going back to like the good side of things, which was so weird. So that's like their culture. Another fun fact is the Colombian airport moves very slow. I don't know if it's because of COVID. We get to the airport like 3 hours before our flight going home. We did not play. And you will see a lot of prostitutes in Spanish countries, and Colombia was like, they were kind of cheap there. Like in DR, if you want a prostitute, you pay $150. In Colombia, they were selling for like 50 US, very cheap. It's very sad, like, and they're very like, they get to it. Like we want to know what the move was, and they was talking about sex. Like they get to it. Another fun fact, Bogota was actually like cold. It felt like New York. It gave like New York, DC vibes, and Cartagena gave like Miami vibes. It was cold. Like I think it's like the country, and Cartagena's more the city. But so Bogota the first day was cold, but then Cartagena it was hot, and you guys were like, oh, is Cartagena hot? And I was in a bathing suit. I'm like, why would I be in a bathing suit when it's cold? Like I was dying. But yeah, so that was pretty much fun facts. The other stuff, you probably can just watch my vlog and stuff like that, and you'll get the full experience. The vlogs are coming, and watch and follow my Instagram for highlights and stuff. But yeah, that was the Colombia story time. I had to update you guys. See you guys tomorrow. Bye.